Welcome in, everyone. We're going to talk about cruises today for first timers. So if you are a first timer, good sin. It was good. If you have never been on a cruise before and you want to go on a cruise, or you have one booked and you have a lot of questions, that's what this live is about. Cruising. All your cruising questions. So we'll start off with just the basic stuff first, and I'll do a spiel and I'll answer your questions. So, first time cruisers, if you're someone who, thank you, you've never been on a cruise before and you just don't know where to start, the number one piece of advice I can give to you, and this is a very common question I get when I do my lives: what is the number one thing you would recommend for people who want to go on a cruise? So my first very important tip with anything in life is do your research. Google. So if you have a question in your head and you don't know how to answer it, give it a Google search. You're going to get an answer, I'm sure. People have asked these questions a million times. So we'll get to some of your more specific questions. Dominic, awesome, you got your first cruise going, so we're going to get there. So this is before you even book that cruise. Some people don't even know where to start. And after you Google what your question is, I would say keep that Google in your back pocket. Don't go into a cruise blind, Don't just think you're going to get on board and you're going to know what's happening. So research is my number one tip. Hi, Carrie. Number two tip is, and I always say this, bring comfy shoes with you, because on a cruise ship you're going to be walking around a lot. So that is my number two big tip. Comfy shoes. Hello, Mitzi. How are you? Awesome, Mitzi. All right, so now we know you're interested. You got that, I want to go on a cruise. Where do you start from there? How do you pick a cruise? Now, I have a whole series on my profile called How to Pick a Cruise. It's a little more involved because picking a cruise is going to depend on you as a person. Do you want something for the family with the kids? Do you want something for the adults? Are you a solo person like me? Are you a chill person? Are you a party person? So go check out my, go check out my series on how to pick your very first cruise. Because you don't want to pick the wrong cruise. You don't want to go on a line that maybe is not your fit. Some people might fit in a certain cruise line. There are so many different cruise lines out there, and you don't know if you're going to go on a ship and you're going to have the worst time of your life because you didn't vibe with the energy of that cruise ship. So it's another section where you go to do some research. Check out YouTube videos. There are a lot of cruise content creators on YouTube, on TikTok. Go to a travel agent. Hi, Elise. If you've never done anything like this before, maybe seek out the advice of a travel agent. So they're the experts. They know what they're talking about as far as travel. Yes, Lucas. So anywho, so that's the next section there is picking which line is best for you. From there, let's say you're ready to book a cruise. You figured out where you want to go. You figured out all the destinations you want to go, what type of ship you want to go on. now it's time to book. And let's say you're doing it on your own. You're not going to use a travel agent. You can go to all the respective websites, Royal, Carnival, Celebrity. You can book your own cruise, certainly. A travel agent is going to help you through the process. They make things easier for you. But if you want to do it yourself, you're a control freak and you want to just take care of everything yourself, you can certainly go ahead and do that. Hi everyone, welcome everyone coming in. Tap that screen. We're talking about first-time cruisers. So we're up to the part where you're booking your very first cruise. Let's say my favorite, Royal Caribbean. You want to go on a Royal Caribbean ship. You go right to their website, and I'll show you here as well. Royal Caribbean has a great website. Celebrity is the same. And you can search cruises by destination, where you're coming from, departure port, date, and all of that. And it'll give you a list of what is in your criteria. So if you are ready to book, you find a cruise you like, and it's a 7-night cruise in the Caribbean on whatever ship, you can just go ahead and do it, and they're going to give you the prices right away of what it is, including taxes and fees. That's a new rule. They're going to start giving you that information right away, and the only thing that's not added is gratuities. Gratuities will be added at the end if you want to add gratuities. That's a whole other thing, but I recommend adding your gratuities to your cruise fare. So let's stop right there. I know we have a lot of people who have been on a cruise before in here. Does anyone have any questions about picking a cruise, booking a cruise up until this point? I know someone who's a brand new cruiser is in the live right now. They probably have already booked theirs. So let me just go back and see who that person was. Dominic, if you're still here. Yes. Hey, Russ. Yes, Elise, that's a good point. Booking early is when you're going to get the best deal. Let's say you want to book a cruise. I would suggest booking a cruise that's about a year, 2 years away if it's available. You're going to get the best price the further away the cruise is. They don't really have those last-minute cruise deals as much anymore. So trying to get a cruise for 2 months away, you're going to pay a lot of money. First-time cruiser, Lupita, you've already booked. Great. Once you've already booked, my next suggestion to you is whatever cruise line you have booked with, go in there and register for their rewards program. If it's Royal Caribbean, sign up for the Crown and Anchor program, Celebrity Captain's Club, Carnival, I guess it's the VIFP. So sign up for those programs and get yourself a loyalty rewards membership number. You want that membership number linked to your booking, because after you do your very first cruise, then you're going to benefit from getting points, just like anything that has a rewards program like an airline or Starbucks or whatever. The more you use that program, the more points you get. So do that. Once you book, go and sign up for that Royal Caribbean or whatever that line's rewards program is. If you're using a travel agent, make sure you tell that travel agent what your loyalty number is so they can put it in their booking for you. So KB, we'll get, that's kind of a more complicated, we're talking first timing here, so That might be a little more of an advanced question. Yes, certain cruise lines are all affiliated. Royal and Celebrity are affiliated with each other. Carnival, Holland, and Princess are affiliated with each other. I don't know all of them, to be honest with you. So, do your research. That's all I have to say. I mean, if that's in something that's interesting to you. Also, after you book Lupita, you're going to go into the specific cruise line's website. Thank you, Carrie. And you're going to look at the cruise planner. Now, for Royal Caribbean, all you need to do is go into the website, and they have a thing called Manage My Cruise. I think they all do have something, Manage My Cruise. And that is where you're going to find things like your Wi-Fi purchases, excursions, drink packages, dining packages. All of that stuff is going to be in your cruise planner. Another big tip for me, and what I would tell you for Royal and for Celebrity, book those packages way before you get on the ship, because when you get on board, prices will go much higher. So make all those reservations ahead of time in the cruise planner. I have not been on Norwegian. I'm not 100. I've seen some ships, but I'm not a Norwegian fan, honestly. So, but we're not talking about the lines necessarily. We're talking about just being a first-time cruiser. All right, so we're rushing through this. I'm going pretty quickly. Do anyone have any questions about the cruise planner? It's very easy. You just go right to the cruise line's website. They should have a link. Another tip is get the app on your phone, because you're going to need the app when you get on board. So Carnival has their own app, Royal and Celebrity, all of them have their own apps. So you're going to want to have an app on your phone. And there you can also make purchases. You can, when you get closer to the cruise, you can start organizing your daily schedule as well. And that's all more of an advanced discussion of how to use your cruise planner. All right. Some other frequently asked questions about that I get for first timers are, what is free? What is included on a ship? I have been on like 16 cruises, something like that, 15, 16 cruises. Awesome, Mo. So when you book a cruise, thank you, Lisa, for asking that question. Let's say you booked your cruise by yourself. The full payment is mostly, and I've seen on most lines, due around the 90-day mark before your cruise. It might fluctuate on other lines, but I know on Royal and Celebrity, 90 days before your sail date, you have to pay in full. Another tip there is any time before the 90-day final payment is due, if the price goes down, you can reprice that cruise. Anytime after final payment, you're kind of stuck with that price. So once you make final payment, you're not going to be able to reprice and get a better deal on that cruise, unless your travel agent is super, super awesome and knows how to finagle that. I haven't figured that out yet, so don't ask me on that one. But, excuse my light went off. So, yes, so that will be final payment. 90 days before the cruise. At the 30-day before the cruise mark, you will get things like your luggage tags. I think other cruise lines, you can get them earlier. Like Carnival, you can get your luggage tags earlier. For Royal and Celebrity, it's about 30 days before then, which was today for me. For my Icon, I got my luggage tags. if you booked on a cruise, well, God, hold on a second. You have already been on a cruise, so you can book when you're on board. Yes. You go to the next cruise desk, and they usually give you something like onboard credit if you book when you're on the cruise. Lapita, so you do, if you want to save money, I would say yes, keep checking the prices. Here is where a travel agent is good. You don't have to do it, let them do it. So if you've booked a cruise and it's within if you booked a cruise within 30 days, you can transfer that over to a travel agent and they can manage it for you and they can check the pricing for you. Utopia of the Seas, actually, when I booked the inaugural, it went down in price. Don't assume. Keep checking. Sometimes Royal is, they might have a weird deal out there, and it all depends on that sailing. They might find that the sailing is not selling as well, and they might drop the prices. Okay. There is an option of booking your airfare through the cruise line when you book. You can have them do it. They're supposed to give you the best deal and match prices that way. I never have used their Air to Sea program. I've heard good and bad things about it. So if you are, another big tip is flying in the day before your cruise, not the same day. A lot of times when you book it through the cruise line, they fly you in that morning. And for me and a lot of other cruisers, that's a risk because you don't know what's going to happen with the airline. So, but they do guarantee that they'll either get you to the ship or they'll get you your money back. So, I've never used the cruise line airfare. Again, Silver, getting the best rate is you book something that's 2 years away. Book it in advance, way in advance. Alrighty. So, good questions, guys. Keep them coming. Packing is another big one. How do you pack? This is basics. Again, don't overpack. But luggage, cruise lines don't care necessarily how many pieces of luggage you bring or how big the luggage is. Not like an airline where you got to fit your luggage into either a little space or it's a certain height or weight. Cruise lines don't limit you on that. There are limitations as to what you can bring on board. Do not bring hard alcohol, hard liquor, or beer. For most cruise lines, I believe that is prohibited. You can bring wine. Do not bring anything that is illegal, such as the funny lettuce or anything of a funny lettuce nature. CBD and all that stuff. Don't even attempt it. Don't try to sneak anything that's on. Check their website on what's prohibited, and don't try to sneak that on thinking you're super sneaky, because it's not going to work. No irons, correct, and no steamers. No irons, no steamers, no power outlets that have the, I can't think of the word. Surge protectors, no surge protectors. You can bring cruise approved things with you. Again, the easy way to figure that out is whatever cruise line you're on, go to their FAQ page and find out what is prohibited for that cruise line. All right. For an upgrade, Some cruises will offer you to upgrade your room. Not everyone is going to get an upgrade request or email. It depends on the sailing and the availability of what rooms are not selling. If you are in a ocean view and you get an email saying, would you like to upgrade to a balcony? You put in your bid. It's a bid. They usually put in a minimum to a maximum, whatever you feel comfortable bidding. You may not find out until the very last day of your cruise. It just depends. There's no hard and fast rule on when you're going to get notified. You got to wait. They will tell you either by email that you did not get the bid, or you might see a charge on your credit card automatically, and that means you got the bid. Once that payment goes through, you are stuck with that room. So be very careful of doing the bid, because you might be in a great room already. You might have already booked a great room. So that is a whole other discussion on bidding, and I have a video about that. But good question. God, thank you. I'm glad God is here to remind me all these things. So any other questions about before you get on board and what to do before you get to the ship? Stop laughing at me, Sin. Seasickness is another question a lot of people ask. You're worried about seasickness, motion sickness. There are a million videos about this on what to do, and you can they got the wristbands that work very well. You got things you can take via your mouth. You can eat green apples if you feel nauseous. There are several things you can do. Seasickness is really not something that should deter you from cruising. Documentation. Thank you, Sin, for bringing that up. Passports. All right, so let's go into the passport, not passport. If you are doing a cruise that starts in the United States and ends in the United States, let's say you're going from Fort Lauderdale back to Fort Lauderdale, you don't need a passport. All you need is a raised seal birth certificate and a driver's license. However, a passport is kind of like being a VIP. If you have a passport, you're going to get in quicker than someone who has a birth certificate and a driver's license. If you travel a lot, get a passport. If you travel internationally, you're going to need it. So just don't even play games and get your passport. If you think you want to travel, do it. Children under 18 need a passport too. Yes. Okay, so go to your local government agency and figure that out. But it is highly recommended to have a passport versus just a birth certificate or a driver's license. Puerto Rico is part of the United States. So as long as it starts and ends in Puerto Rico, it should be fine. There might be some exceptions to that, and it could be maybe there's a destination that requires it. So once again, I've got to recommend just get the passport. Why play with it? We're not going to do cruise recommendations, God. We're talking about first-time cruisers. So we could do another one for the more advanced questions. All right, so we're talking just if you've never been on a cruise and you're booked one, maybe you're just, what do you do? There is also a lot of questions around shore excursions. Okay, Andy, 1 second. I'll get to that question. Shore excursions. A lot of people ask, should I book through the cruise line? Yes, Yes, Jen, we'll get to musters as well. Thank you for, let me add that to my list, muster. That's when we get on board. We're not even on board yet. So people ask, should we book through the cruise line? Should we do our own thing? That depends on you, and if you are a very reliable, organized person and you can make sure you're going to get your butt back to the ship on time. I try to stick to the rules, and I stick with the cruise line and what they offer, because the cruise line will guarantee you getting back to the ship on time, or at least on board. They will wait for you. If you book a third-party excursion, it's a risk that you could take where you got Joe Schmo taking you out to whatever beach, and then on the way back you hit a traffic jam or an accident, and now you're stuck in traffic and you can't get back. Well, since you didn't go with the cruise line and you're still stuck in traffic and it's an hour later, you risk not getting back on board. So it's a risk. That's all I'm saying. If you're a risk taker, then do whatever you want. But that's the difference there. Linda, if you really want help, I would suggest finding a travel agent to help you. That's my biggest advice there. Yes, having that extra cash with you, having your passport with you. Some people ask, should I take my passport off the ship or leave it on board? I always bring it with me. When I go into weird new places, I keep my passport with me. I keep it on my person. Okay, so I guess we can get to getting on board. So the day before your cruise, for the most part, you're going to fill out a health questionnaire. I know for Royal and Celebrity. Let me go back. 45 days before your cruise, for Royal and Celebrity, they ask you to check in. So they'll send you a thing about, hey, what time do you want to check in on the day one, embarkation day? And then you go through the app, and it asks, you have to put in your passport information or whatever ID, you have to put in that. You have to then select a time to go on board. I always pick the earliest time because I want to extend my cruise as much as possible. And then usually the very last question is a health questionnaire, which you do on the day before you get on board. And you just, it's a remnants of COVID, so they don't have to test for COVID anymore. They basically just ask you, are you feeling sick? Are you pregnant? And that's it. And then you get on board, or the next day you get on board and you're good. MSC doesn't do that. Well, MSC. So now you're ready, you're on board, you're packed, you're good, you're not overpacked. Don't overpack. You got all your stuff. I have videos about packing, what to pack, what not to pack. Packing is a whole other conversation. Carnival and Margarita don't ask for health. Well, I don't know. Muster station time. Sure. This is the most important thing you're supposed to do when you get on board. As soon as you get on board, if it's available, because it's usually not available till like 11:30, 12 o'clock. Get on board and check in with your app at your muster station. Your muster station will be linked to whatever room you're in. So you'll be assigned a number like A1, C2, whatever it is. It's going to be on your app. You have your thing, your scanner. You're going to just bring it to them. They're going to click you in. Sometimes what they've been doing lately is going through a whole spiel while you're on board saying, this is where you come, this is what you do, blah, blah, blah. It takes 2 seconds and you're mustered in, you're done, and then you can enjoy your vacation. So that is like the biggest thing to do once you get on board. The next thing that is important to do, if you have the dining packages, is to go make your reservations for dining. And or if you have children, you might want to go up to Adventure Ocean and start making your reservations, whatever you call it, for babysitting for the kids. Those are some things you should do on day one. There are probably a whole bunch of other things you should do on day one, depending on your sailing. But the most important thing is mustering and then getting that drink and saying, Yahoo, we're on the ship and we're going to have fun. Yes, Texan, you go to the bar and you grab yourself whatever drink is your favorite drink. A lot of people do go the buffet. If the buffet is open, usually around 11, yes, the buffet is going to be the biggest place people go to. A lot of people also go to guest services. If you can avoid guest services on day one, try to do so, because that line is going to be insane. So that's another tip there. Try to avoid guest service unless you have a real serious issue you need to. And your room, your cabins, will not, for most of the case, are not open right away. Unless you're on a sailing that's very first sailing, or like it's the first sailing after it trans moved over. All the words are not coming out right tonight. So let's say 1 o'clock, 1:30, your cabin is open. My suggestion is, hopefully you're not carrying your luggage with you. I forgot to say this. When you get dropped off at the terminal, let the porters take your luggage. That's what the luggage tag is for. It's going to be tagged with your room number on it. And you're going to let them take it. They're going to carry it to your room for you, and it'll be there at some point in the day. If you can just have a carry-on with you, this is also very important. Keep a carry-on with you with your very important documents, your medications, your glasses, your phone, your chargers, maybe even a bathing suit or a change of clothing. Keep those very important things with you on your body, maybe in like a big tote or something, or a backpack, so you're not encumbered when you're walking around the ship. I see a lot of people on day one walking around with their bags, and I mean, do you really want to be lugging, no pun intended, all that stuff around with you? Let the porters take it, and it'll be there. They're not going to lose it. Well, hopefully they're not going to lose it. I know there's people in here who are saying, I lost my luggage. So I'm probably going through these really quickly, but this is going to be like the most ultimate comprehensive first-time cruisers video here. All right. Let me get some of these questions going. Please, if I didn't answer a question, please retype it. Texan, yes, 100%. Come, if you're staying at a hotel the night before, when you wake up that morning, and let's say you're in Florida, or you're in a tropical location, wear your bathing suit under your clothes, and then you can just go right to the pool. You don't even need to, just go in there, and you got your bathing suit underneath, and you just go boop, and you can plop right into the pool or the jacuzzi. Travel insurance. Okay, so travel insurance is important. I always get travel insurance when I fly. So I pay the extra when I book my airline, my airfare. That is because the airline industry is just so unreliable. You can also get travel insurance for cheap to cover your whole vacation. And you can go to a website like, I think it's just travelinsurance.com, and they'll give you several options for whatever your trip starts and ends. They'll give you a price. It's like $30, $40, $50 to go for a cruise vacation, it could be worth it. Because if you're someone who maybe you have health issues, maybe there's a chance you could get sick on board, or you could hurt yourself, you could sprain an ankle, cut yourself, God forbid something worse happens to you, just spend a little extra to get travel insurance, because they will cover you, and you read the fine print on finding out what they do cover. But for the most part, they'll cover you, because you don't want to get airlifted off of a cruise ship to some weird hospital in the Bahamas or the Caribbean, and then you got a $30,000 medical bill. You can get an annual policy as well. If you travel a lot, yes, you can get an annual policy. Hello. What is the difference between an agency and you booking yourself? The difference is you're getting a free person to take care of your trip for you. They'll help you book the cruise. They'll manage the cruise. They'll check for prices that drop. They don't charge you extra to do this. They will assist in any other things you might want. So it's kind of having like an assistant for free, because travel agents get paid from the cruise line. We get a commission. You still have access, all the same access, Lupita. Yes. The only thing that's different is you cannot call the cruise line directly and talk about your reservation if you have it through a travel agent. The travel agent is supposed to be that liaison for you. So if you have an issue with something, let the travel agent take care of it, and they can help you more likely. And they are the ones who make the payments for you. So they're there as a liaison. But again, if you want to control the whole thing yourself, you can certainly do it yourself. But you might not have the time to check Royal Caribbean every week to see if the price went down, because it sometimes does. And you never know. And sometimes travel agents can get you extra perks. That's a whole thing. Alrighty. Dino, you want to take your first cruise next summer? Well, get it booked now, Dino. That's all I can say. Next summer, 2025 is starting to book, is getting full already. Even a year from now, these vacations get booked way in advance. So I would start looking into something ASAP and get that decision made. I think it's just, you're going to get a better price. Thank you, KB. Yes, Dino. Start looking at it. Again, and I have a whole series in my profile on how to pick a cruise, because it's not a very simple, cut and dry answer. It depends on you and your budget and where you want to go, and if you have a family, if you're by yourself. So there's many factors going into how to select a cruise. So again, just make sure you're following me, and then go check out my video series that's in my TikTok. Booking with a deposit, making payments. So if you're with a travel agent, they're going to do the payment for you. They're going to get your credit card information. They make those payments for you. You usually have some leeway before deposit is due. Especially if you book with a travel agent. When you book on your own, you have to pay the deposit right away. Unless there's they give you like a hold, 1 day hold, 24-hour hold, but usually got to get deposit in much quicker. If you're with a travel agency, they give you more of a leeway on making that decision for the first deposit. Once your deposit is made, you can set up a flexible payment plan, or, you know, whatever. So you can set that up however you want to do it. As long as it's fully paid by the due date. You have a final payment due date. It must be fully paid. You do risk losing your cabin if you don't pay in full by the due date. Corey, I loved Utopia of the Seas. All right, what other topics for first-time cruisers? Oh, what's for free? I forgot to get into what's for free. All right, so once you get on board, so this is what's included for, again, my expertise is Royal and Celebrity. I know a little bit of the other lines too, so we're just going to go general. Your food is included in your cruise fare. Basic drinks are included. Your water, coffee and tea, juices, those basic drinks are included for free. So you don't have to get a drink package if you don't want to. If you drink soda or beer or wine or any alcohol, you're going to need some sort of drink package. Each line has a different drink package specialty. So that depends on what cruise line you're going with. If it's worth it is another question people ask. You have to do math, unfortunately. If you're a big alcoholic drinker and you drink 5-6 drinks a day, then yeah, get the drink package. If you have one glass of wine at dinner and that's all, then don't spend the extra money. Just pay a la carte. And the specialty coffees are usually not included in that. You got to pay either a coffee package or have some kind of like mid-level refreshment package for specialty coffee. Food, for the most part, all cruise lines have food included. You know, the buffets are going to be free. The main dining room is free. And there's going to be some certain restaurants on board that are free, like pizza places. On Carnival, they have a little more free options, like Guy's Burger and the Chinese restaurant. And, all right, the Chinese restaurant's free? I forget. Then they have, like, other sections that are free. All the ships will also have specialty dining. Specialty dining is extra. You can get a dining package if they offer a 3-night dining package or a unlimited dining package. That depends on you and how much food is important to you. Specialty dining, again, is specialty. It's not included in the original cruise fare. It is something you will have to purchase in the cruise planner on either the website or the app. Same thing with getting a photo package, your Wi-Fi. I believe all the cruise lines, unless it's a luxury cruise line, Wi-Fi is extra. Or you have some kind of deal as a suite. If you get a suite, a lot of times all that stuff is part of the suite because you're paying already probably 10 grand for that suite. So there are exceptions to the rules on some of these things. I am not on a cruise right now. We are talking about first-time cruisers. And if you have any first-time cruising questions, if you've never been on a cruise before, or you're thinking about it, or maybe you have a cruise booked and you have questions about what to do, this is where you ask those questions. Thank you, everyone, for hanging out here. Keep tapping that screen and hit the follow button. We did talk about seasickness already, Mom. Here's another great tip. Hi, Lisa. As part of the do your research, which was my very initial, most important piece of advice when you are thinking about cruising, is Google and do your research. There are other places to find a lot of cruise information. You can go to Facebook if you're on Facebook and join a Facebook specific group for your sailing. So if you booked a cruise on November 7th of this year on Oasis of the Seas, you could probably go to Facebook and find a group. Someone has started a Facebook group for that sailing. There you can meet people, you can ask questions, you can whatever. So that is a great tidbit of how to just get more information. The ships behind me, this is Utopia and Allure of the Seas behind me. Another great location to get information, just in general, there are a lot of cruise forums out there. So what I learned a lot from RoyalCaribbeanBlog.com. You could go to Cruise Critic. They have forums where you can just chat with other people who have experience. And you can use an app. They have apps like Shipmates and stuff like that where you can just learn more. There are a lot of great apps. I think I did a video on apps. So lots of other areas where you can gather awesome information about, and of course YouTube. YouTube is a plethora of great information, and TikTok. There are a lot of content creators on here that talk about cruises. Yes. So, I'm very royal celebrity heavy on my information because that's the only 2 cruise lines I've been on where I've cruised. I know a lot of information about that. But we have a lot of people who know about Carnival and Norwegian and MSC. So just let your fingers do the tapping there. I have sailed out of Cape Liberty, yes. That's another great point. Thank you for bringing that up, DJ. In selecting a cruise on where to go for your first time could really be on where you live. So if you live in the New York metro area, you have several cruise ports in New York City. Bayonne and all the Manhattan and Brooklyn ports. You have Boston, and not far away in Maryland, you have Baltimore. For me personally, a 2-hour flight down to Florida is not the worst thing in the world. Florida has the most cruise ports, I believe. So there are several cruise ports out of Florida. So if you live in that general area, Los Angeles, San Francisco, Galveston, Texas, New Orleans. I think there's some more on the East Coast. So it could be how you pick your cruise is where you live, because it might be easier for you to just drive to Bayonne. For me, Bayonne is a real easy 50-minute drive. I go there, I park. So that could be in your decision making. Yes. So again, that's part of my How Do You Pick a Cruise series. Go check that out. Alrighty. Thanks to everyone for all these great questions. And Philadelphia, I just heard about this yesterday, that Philadelphia, that'll be a cool, I hope Royal sends a ship there. We'll see how that happens. Yep, I said that too, Mom. Don't fly in the same day unless you're booked through the cruise line where they can guarantee that you're going to get on board. Alrighty, let's take a pause here and send me some questions about maybe what else to do when you get on board, or maybe something to do before you get on board. What did I miss? What did I not talk about? The casino. All right, so I'm not an expert in the casino, but You can get a free cruise, and that is if you gamble in the casino a lot. So, booking a free cruise with your travel agent, you can. I don't know if the travel agent is going to, because travel agents don't really get too much of a commission when they book a casino cruise. It's kind of not worth it for them, just being honest. So I would say call the casino department directly and take care of those free cruises yourself, unless you have an agent who says, yeah, I'll do it for you. But you can, if you gamble a lot, and I think Carnival is very generous with their free cruises. If you're, I don't know what the threshold is of how much you got to spend every night. I'm sure there's some kind of algorithm there, but if you're in there consistently spending your money, you're going to get some free cruises out of the cruise line. Awesome. I'm glad. So that's about casinos, and I did hear, I heard that gambling in the casino on a cruise ship, you get a better return on investment. Thank you, KB. You get a better return on investment than on land casinos. That you get a better payout, or there's a better chance of winning on a cruise ship. I saw a video about that. I don't know if it's accurate, but maybe their machines they're just, I guess, maybe the machines want to be on the ship and out to sea. So, yes. Alrighty. Another common question is about the food. Is the food good? Again, I've only been on a couple of different cruise lines. Well, that's not true. I've tried other lines via a tour, but really, Queso, I enjoy Royal Caribbean's food, and I love Celebrity's food. I love Carnival's pizza. When I was on the Venezia, their pizza was good. Maybe because it was an Italian ship, I don't know. And I was on MSC, and I tried their pizza on MSC Meraviglia was good. And that's it. So, again, food, your taste buds are different than my taste buds. You might like something that I don't like, and vice versa, all that stuff. So food is really something you're just going to have to test out for yourself. Entertainment is included. That is also free. So you're going to get on board and you're going to see some great entertainment on all the ships, hopefully. And I guess that's really it. Oh, what's free? I mean, you get in your room. Hello, Kalandra. What's the best activity on Utopia specifically? I mean, the escape room was really cool if you like escape rooms. There are a lot of fun activities on a cruise ship, so you're not going to be terribly bored. The different cabins. So, thank you, Sin. Yes, actually, before I get into that, yes, Mom. If you have dietary needs, you should email or have your travel agent email the cruise line probably within 30 days of your cruise and tell them you have special needs. You're vegetarian or gluten-free or something like that. Yes, all you need to do is email them or call them. They should be very accommodating. If not, if you don't do it ahead of time, you do it when you get on board and you just go to the main dining room maitre d', the head waiter, and you tell him, I have this certain whatever. And they usually ask you, I mean, when on Royal they do. When you're on Royal or Celebrity, they'll ask you, do you have any food allergies? So that is usually the first thing they ask you. Yes, they have seafood. All right. Let me go back to the different types of cabins. So the cheapest cabin is the interior. It's got no windows. You're in a room with a bed, a bathroom, and a vanity, and that's it. It's going to be your cheapest category. If you don't care about that because you're just going to sleep there, then just get the interior and save your money. However, above that, they have rooms called ocean views. Ocean views have a window, a porthole window. If you need to at least look at the water, which I do, get an ocean view, and that'll be the next category that's cheaper. Some classes of ships, on like the Oasis class, have other categories in between those two. Virtual balconies. A virtual balcony is a room that has a TV screen made to mimic a balcony. So it'll be like you're looking out at, it's a live view of your balcony, and I was on Anthem, and I have a video of that in my profile. And that's a pretty cool room. They also have what's called, on Oasis, neighborhood, the boardwalk balcony or Essential Park balcony, and all that is an interior balcony facing the inside of the ship. On this, so the ships right here behind me are Oasis class ships. It's got that, thank you for the weird looking duck there, KB. So in the middle of the ship, it's open. Those cabins that are facing the inside that you can't even see in there, those are considered interior rooms, but they have a balcony so you can sit there and overlook the boardwalk or Central Park. They're a little more price than regular interiors. They also have interior porthole window ones too. So lots of different categories in there. And then of course, on the outside of the ship are the regular balconies that face the ocean. Those are ocean view balconies. Those are the most common type of room someone was going to want. And of course, above that, you got a suite, junior suite, grand suite. They all got different names. And the higher you go, the more perks you get. What is happening in the chat here? When are we going on our newlywed cruise? I didn't know I got married. Thank you, Lisa. I hope I went through all those cabins. Oh, here's another, thank you for reminding me though, with cabins also, people ask, what's the best room to get? Or where should I get my room? Oh my goodness. All right, so, depending on you, and if you feel like you get motion sickness or not, if you are a motion sickness person, the lowest, where's my finger here? Where's my finger? The lower you are and the more midship you are, you're going to feel less movement. All right? Obviously, this is, a ship goes like this, right? I can do it. A ship moves like this. All right? So if you want to be in the center of gravity there, all right? So the ship also goes like this. The front of the ship, the forward part of the ship is going to move more because it's going over the waves. The back, it's got the engine back there, might be more vibrational. So midship is going to be the most sought after cabin. All right, so, and it's more money. Midship is more money. But if you, yeah, and unless you're hitting a thunderstorm or some really bad storm, you're not going to feel the waves that much. All right, people do talk about, do you feel the ship when you're moving? Not really. Not on these big ships. You don't. It's a floating hotel. You don't really feel it unless, again, you're in a bad storm or some kind of weird wave situation is happening, which doesn't happen often because the captain is not going to enter you into a bad area. And that's another question people ask. What if there's a hurricane? It's hurricane season. Should I book during hurricane season? It doesn't matter. Yes, book when you want to book. Don't worry about hurricanes. The captain is going to... Hold on one second. I have to replenish. The captain is going to avoid any bad weather as much as possible. So don't make your decisions based off of it's hurricane season. Worst comes to worst, they're going to change your itinerary and take you to a different port. Or they could even take you, if you were doing a Caribbean cruise, they might take you to Canada. I don't know, but it doesn't happen that often. So that is all about cabin location. Thank you, KB, for all the gifts. Now, another part of cabin location is where on the ship is the best spot. Thank you, KB. So again, using my pen here, is this gonna work? No. My finger works better. You want to pick a deck. We don't call it a floor on a ship. It's called a deck. You want to pick a deck that has staterooms above and below you. And usually that's around deck 7, 8, 9, 10, depending how big the ship is. You're going to find staterooms above and below you. You kind of want to avoid the pool being right above you, or something else that might be a big noise maker. But you're not gonna, it's probably not that bad anyway, because I think they're soundproofed so much, at least on Royal Caribbean, that you're not gonna hear some of the things that are going on, and you're gonna be in bed by whatever time, and a lot of this stuff ends by a certain time, so you're not gonna be hearing too much. So that is just another piece of advice on cabin location. Cancellation of cruise ports. It doesn't happen often. They will notify you if you're not going to a certain port. My very first cruise, I was supposed to go to Grand Cayman, and this was right during COVID, or right after COVID was starting to end, and Grand Cayman was still closed, and they were not going there. So we changed ports, and they sent an email ahead of time saying you're going to Costa Maya instead of Grand Cayman. That's all. Sometimes it can happen while you're on the cruise. They might change the itinerary, could maybe weather related, but they will notify you if that happens. Guaranteed balconies or guaranteed rooms. Yes, I've done a guaranteed room before. You don't get notified until it's much closer to the cruise date on what your room assignment is. They are guaranteeing that you're going to at least get that level. So if you do a guaranteed ocean view, you're at least going to get an ocean view. Who knows, they could put you in a balcony if they have no more ocean views left. So they're guaranteeing you in that room. There was a very rare case of when a couple of ships were oversold and some people got screwed out of that, but I don't think that's happened since. They must have fixed that situation. So guaranteed is going to be cheaper, but you cannot select your cabin number. If you want to pay a little more and pick your own number, then you can go ahead and do that. Great, thank you very much, Karina. Great question about dressing and what to wear. What to wear on a cruise. For Royal Caribbean, when you go on a formal night, if there's a dress-up night or a formal night, they really just want you to dress as best as possible. You don't need to be in a nightgown, in a formal gown or a tuxedo. Dress in a nice outfit. They're trying to avoid people who are coming in their bathing suits in the main dining room. And it's really only for the main dining room. You can go to the buffet if you don't want to dress at all. You want to just wear whatever you were wearing that day. You could eat in the buffet. But for the specialty restaurants and the main dining room, at least be decent. Now, I know on Celebrity, they do expect you to dress a little, maybe more nice. If you have a cocktail dress or something, that might be on only certain ships, on like the longer ships. But again, you don't have to bring a formal gown with you. There are people who do, though. I've been on a few ships where people are dressed to the nines because they like it. They want to do that photo op with their family. They want to all be in luxury outfits. I'm not carrying that with me, so I don't do that. So hopefully that answers your question about formal wear. And of course, if you're on a luxury ship, read their FAQ. Again, read what the cruise line you're going on says about that. They might, yes, have different levels of formal. Yeah, you don't have to come in a black funeral dress either. You can. You're welcome, Karina. Thank you for asking the question. Princess. I've never been on Princess, or have I toured Princess, so I don't know. Some cruise lines have reputations. Princess Cruise Line has a reputation, whether it's accurate or not. There's a stereotype there that Princess is for much older people. That there's a certain age group that go on Princess. I don't know, I've never been. Allure is a great ship. It has Sabor, Mexican restaurant. Allure is, someone asked this before, Allure is gonna be we're gonna be amplified next year. I don't know what month they're gonna do it. I forget if it was in the spring, but she's getting up her renovation next year. Yes, Holland and Princess have that stereotype, I guess. But I don't know if it's 100% accurate. There are young people. Lots of, Royal is a family cruise line. Lots of kids running around. You think that that's great to know. Suits to sand. Sorry, I thought it was sweets. Yeah, you know what? The elderly are at least quiet, and they're not. They're not gonna be partying out too late. I've never done a singles cruise. They exist, but. All right. What other first-time cruising questions do you guys have? What did I not cover about first-time cruising? Onboard credit. I'll touch on onboard credit. So sometimes, if you work with a travel agent, you can get onboard credit. Or if you'll probably already know this, if you're on a cruise and you book another cruise while you're on a cruise, they will give you onboard credit to use for the next cruise. You have to spend your onboard credit on the cruise you're on. So if you have $50 of onboard credit, you got to use it on that ship, on that sailing. You can use it anywhere. You can use it for drinks, towards specialty dining. You could use it in the casino or in the shops. You can even, if you want that cash tidbit, go to the casino, put your card in, transfer your onboard credit to the machine, and then cash out. And then you got your $50 right there, if you want that money. So that's a little trick. I don't know, not too many probably know that, but at least it works on Royal. I know that for sure. So that's onboard credit. There's also a thing called future cruise credit. So let's say you had a cruise booked and the cruise canceled. Let's say the ship broke down and the engine broke and the cruise said we have to cancel your cruise 2 weeks before you get on the cruise. It can happen. Have travel insurance. But what Royal will do, and I'm sure a lot of other lines will do, is they will give you a full refund in a future cruise credit. They will give you that value of the cruise and say, here you go, please book another cruise. So that's what future cruise credit is, and you use it towards you booking another cruise. Thank you for the follows, everyone. So I'll take a brief break of first time cruising questions. Yes, I have Icon coming up in September in 30 days. Today is my 30-day mark. I got my luggage tags for Icon of the Seas. I will be on Icon next month. I have a million other booked after that. So I got a whole list. I got like 12 cruises booked. So if you want to watch me go live on a cruise, make sure you're following. I go live pretty much 80% of my cruise. I am walking around the ship. So you want to come hang out with me on my vacation, follow. Thank you, Linda. I am a travel agent for ET Family Travel. It's a local travel agency on Long Island. I started with them. I don't even remember, when did I start with them? It's been several months. I mean, I do have a regular 9 to 5 as well. Being a travel agent is pretty cool. But that's not what this conversation's about. Well, I'll do a video about travel agency. I do have a Long Island accent because I'm from Long Island. Yes, I say coffee and water. How do you get travel insurance? You go to a website like, let me see if I can pull it up, travelinsurance.com. You plug in your trip. Hold on one second. You can also, your travel agent can also do that for you. You can also book travel insurance through the cruise line, but it's a little more money. You don't want to do that. Travelinsurance.com, they will compare different rates for you, and you can you get quotes. You put in how much you paid for your cruise, where you're going, what the dates are, how many people, where you live, and they will come up with some quotes, just like any other insurance. They'll give you comparables, and you just buy it. And it's usually like $30, $40, $50, depending on the how much money you spent. Coffee. Let's talk about when we're on board still. Let's see. So the other things to do when you're on board. There is, okay, here's a great, we talked about seasickness already. medication, TD. That's the best thing for that. Just be prepared. Get a wristband that works. The what do they call them? Special spot wristband. Anyway, I was about to say something and now I forget it. It went out of my head. Oh, thank you, Mom. All right. So once you're on board, you will hopefully have downloaded your app. If you're on a Royal Caribbean ship, you download the Royal Caribbean app, and your sailing will show up in the app, and it'll tell you when you're on board. You connect to the Wi-Fi there, but you don't have to. If you're not paying for the Wi-Fi, the cruise app should work on board regardless. Airplane mode. Set your phone to airplane mode before the ship sets sail, because once that ship is out of U.S. location of cell towers, you're going to incur international charges. So, Wi-Fi on, airplane mode on. Anyway, that was another tip I forgot to tell you guys before. Your cruise planner, to what your daily thing is, will be in your cruise planner on the app. It will tell you what you're doing every day, what activities you can do. Entertainment, for the most part, on the smaller ships, you don't have to make reservations for entertainment. On the Oasis and Quantum class ships and the Icon ship, you have to make reservations for your entertainment. Do it ahead of time, because when you get on board, if you want to go to the Aqua Show, they're going to take those people first with the reservations, and you might miss out on the best seats. So, but you can do it when you get on board. You can go to the box office on board and arrange your all your activities when you're in there. Guest service, you can go to guest services, but don't bog guest services down with stuff like that. If you know you're not going to get the app, get the app. I mean, we're all technologically set. If you can be on TikTok, you can do the app. So, I'm just going to say, like, go to guest services if you have a real issue with your room or your account, but don't go there for making reservations. They have a box office on Royal. You could do that. There was something else I was going to mention about being on board, and I can't remember what it is. Damn it. It was something I didn't talk about. When you're on board, some things to do. Oh, etiquette. Thank you for reminding myself. There is some etiquette when you're on a cruise ship. Basic elevator etiquette. If you've never been in an elevator before, what you do is wait till the people in the elevator get out of the elevator. Then you can go in the elevator. I don't know why basic elevator etiquette is lost on some people. So be considerate of your cruising friends. Also, don't be one of those people that carries a drink around with them and then leaves their glass in some weird random spot on the ship. The crew have to pick up after you. So don't leave a glass in the elevator or outside the elevator. Bring it back to a station that has, like, like if you go to one of the restaurants or the dining or the buffet or the pizza place or something, bring it back to a place that has a receptacle for that. I hate seeing that when people there's cups and glasses everywhere around the ship. It's not, you don't want to see that when you're walking around the ship, right? You want the ship to look nice, and you don't want to see somebody's daiquiri with the half-eaten straw hanging out of the glass on the floor. So anyway, there's some basic etiquette. What are some other etiquette things? I did a video about this, not to be one of these people. Don't be messy. Like, don't leave your trash on the... I saw, what did I see? It was just like random crap on the floor. Like, pick up after yourself. I don't know. But there, you know, there's some etiquette there. Mobility issues, that's a whole other topic. You don't need to bring your own straws. Royal has sustainable and Celebrity has sustainable plastic straws. They don't do the paper anymore. They were doing paper for a while, but you don't have to. They have the nice straws again that are earth friendly. There is buffet etiquette. However, I will say with the buffet etiquette, watch where you're going in the buffet. A lot of people walk around the buffet, they got their plate in their hand, and they are looking at the food. They're not looking at who's walking in front of them. So they're like this, and they're walking, and they're not looking in front of them. So yeah, there's some buffet etiquette too. Cutting in front of people, because I sometimes, if I want to just get, because I don't eat every single item at whatever, so I kind of go to what I want. I will wait. If someone's in line, I will wait, but if there's an opening, I'm going to that food section and just grabbing what I want. Now, because then you're also in line, and you're like, I just want the one item that's at the end. So, whatever. Yeah, just be nice. Be considerate. Exactly. I just want the fries. I just want the mashed potatoes and the gravy. I go right to the mashed potatoes and the gravy. All right. Oh, Lisa. You sent me a galaxy, Lisa. Thank you. All right. So what other things do we do when we get on board? We talked about entertainment. We talked about dining, making your dining reservations day one. Getting your kids reservations for the kids clubs. That's important. Getting your drinks. Another, I guess, a tip for first-time cruisers would be to, when you have your app, check your account often. Like, check at least once a day to make sure that the amount of money on your account jives with what maybe you purchased. Because you will be able to see, you went to whatever bar and you bought a drink, you went to the shop, you got whatever t-shirt, it's going to be reflected on the account. Sometimes, and it can happen, that there's a charge on there that doesn't belong to you. That somebody maybe overheard you say what your room number is, and they told so-and-so, this is my room number, and it's really your room number, and now you got a bottle of wine on there or something. So check that every once in a while, just to make sure it is copacetic. If it is not, go to guest services to get your account fixed. They will help you. You say, this was not me. You can check your account on the TV if you have a TV that does that. They don't all have that. How long does it take for your room to be ready when you get on board? So for the most part, they are ready around the 1 p.m. time frame, depending on the ship and the sailing, but it's generally around 1 p.m. So I said this earlier, Karina, let the porters take your luggage and just keep a carry-on with you of all your important things you need with you. Don't be lugging around your small carry-on with you. Beverages in the room. No, not usually. Unless you're in a suite, there's no mini bar in your room. And they're probably extra anyway. Unless you ordered something specifically, if you got like a water package to be delivered or you whatever, but no, they don't usually have mini bars unless other ships have them, but on Royal and Celebrity it's not really. When you get on board, you have access to everything. Should be, as soon as you get on board, there should be some sort of food. The buffet is usually open by 11, or the pizza place. The pools will be open. The bars are definitely open. Do not drink. You can drink the water out of the tap. I wouldn't. I know they super clean that water, but I wouldn't drink. It's good for brushing your teeth, but I would go to a water station. You can bring a mug or something with you if you want to refill your water at a water station or the free beverage centers. You can do that. Hey, Ashley. So there are certain, Dino, some ships have different rules about what you can bring a non-alcoholic. You can bring like a 12-pack of soda and a 12-pack of water on board with you. But check the specific cruise line. All the details are in the FAQs for each cruise line. And I would really suggest, if you book something, once you book something, even if you booked with a travel agent, go do some research and check out that website and just read some of the commonly asked questions and you'll get your answers. Thank you, Michelle. So we touched on a lot of things. It's an hour and a half later. We touched on a lot of very first-time cruiser questions. I'm trying to think of anything that we didn't touch on. If you fall asleep in a lounge chair, will you be woken up? It's never happened to me. I don't think anyone's gonna bother you unless they think you're dead, sitting in a lounge chair for 12 hours. But if you're on the pool deck and you fall asleep, I don't think anyone's gonna bother you. Unless there's a reason to get you up. There might be a reason to get you up. Gratuities. All right, let's talk quickly about gratuities. Gratuities are not part of the cruise fare and in the beginning. You have to add gratuities at the end when you book. So if you're booking by yourself or with a travel agent, my recommendation is to add the gratuities to your final cruise payment group there, because if you don't do it then, it's just going to be added to your bill at the end of your cruise, and they're going to make you pay that before you get off the ship. And if you don't pay it, you're not getting off the ship. They're going to hold you there, or they're going to charge your credit card for whatever that amount is. So, and the price is going to be the same. It's not going to matter, but take care of it in the beginning. And don't be one of those people that says, I'm taking the gratuities off, because you can do that. You can go to guest services and say, please remove the gratuities, or don't do that. I'm going to pay them in cash. You can pay the people in cash anyway, but what you don't know is those gratuities go to more than just the people you see your attendant, the dining room. It goes to a lot of other people that you don't see. And they kind of divvy it up. Of course, bring some cash with you if you want to give your stateroom attendant another whatever. I'm not even going to say a number. Just whatever you feel is do it. Pay whoever you can pay, the head waiter, your waiter for your table. You think they did an outstanding job? Bring some cash. They love it. The crew will love you. They're there to serve you. They want you to get a great experience. Why not give them above and beyond? So that's with the gratuities. I don't know what else. I mean, and you can get envelopes at the end of your cruise and hand them out to whoever you want. The bartenders, whoever you feel like it. You pay, the gratuities is a 18% charge added to your cruise fare that gets divvied up to other people, like the people who are unclogging your toilet, the mechanic, the guy who's painting the railing, stuff like that. Like, it goes to everyone and gets split up. But again, you don't have to tip cash at the end if you want to, and you think whoever your room attendant was did a really great job. They gave you 1,000,000 towel animals, and your bathroom was sparkling every day. Throw them some extra cash. That's all I'm saying. You don't have to. Be generous. Those who are generous receive generosity. I'm not going to give you an amount, user, whatever you're comfortable with. They are grateful no matter what you give them, I think. Okay. So we touched on that too. We touched on gratuities. We touched on a lot. I don't know what I'm missing that I didn't touch on. Somebody tell me. What did we not talk about? Upside down pineapples, yes. There are. People decorate their doors. You can decorate your door because the ship everything is made of metal. People bring magnets. I got some right behind me here. Oh, let's not use that one. Here's a magnet. It's backwards. Merry Cruisemas. I bring this when I was on my Christmas cruise, and I put this on my door. Merry Cruisemas. You can buy these on Etsy. You can, if the captain wants to eat dinner with you, then I guess so. But they don't do that anymore. The midnight buffet and dinner with the captain, at least on Royal and Celebrity, is not a thing. Maybe they do it on other ships. I don't know. Thank you, Lisa. So another thing about cabins, if you are in a balcony, or what Lisa's saying is an infinite balcony, which is really just a window that goes down. When your balcony door is open or your infinite balcony window is open, it turns off your air conditioning. So just keep that in mind. If it's really hot and humid, you're not going to want to keep that open because your AC is going to make it stuffy in your room. So it's just a mechanism. Keep your balcony door closed so your AC works. And there are signs everywhere. And on Royal, they have signs in your bathroom. Don't flush anything down the toilet other than toilet paper. You will be fined if they find out you're putting stuff in there that you shouldn't. And this is really for the ladies. Don't put stuff down there that you shouldn't. They could fine you. So TD Rocker, you have to be offered a bid. You can't just email them to bid. They have to send you an email saying, do you want to bid? So if you didn't get that, you can't upgrade. Yeah, we talked about excursions. Don't be a pier runner. That's another etiquette thing. If there's anything else that's really something a basic person wouldn't know. I know a lot of you guys, you're already, all of you in here are mostly cruising people already. You've been on at least one cruise. So you guys already know a lot of this stuff. So if there's anyone in here who's never been on a cruise and has a question, please speak up. My next cruise is September 7th. Icon. Thank you, Lisa, for the t-shirt. I already have this t-shirt. Thank you, Lois. Speak up, damn it. September 8th, awesome. I know. Maybe I will see you like 2 ships in the night. Thank you, Lisa. Smoking. Oh, thank you for bringing up smoking. All right, hold on a second. Oh, thank you, Lisa. Smoking, great topic. Okay. If you are a smoker of cigarettes, not the other stuff, you can't, no ship is going to let you do the other stuff. It is maritime law, federal law. You cannot smoke the funny lettuce or have CBD or anything that's related to it on a cruise ship. You're going to get banned from a cruise if that happens. But smoking cigarettes, there usually are designated spots on a cruise ship where you can smoke your cigarettes. Of course, it's for the most part outside. So the pool deck, there'll be a smoking section. The promenade deck, the deck that goes around, it's hard to see on this ship, but the deck that goes around, I gotta use my finger. God damn it, it's not working. I can't use my finger. Anyway, it's an outside area. In the casino, for the most part, you can. Celebrity, though, is a non-smoking casino. And do not smoke in your cabin, correct. Don't smoke in your cabin or on your balcony. You will be either fined or they'll boot you. It's a fire. They take fire seriously. Pets. Thank you about the pets. So, service dogs are allowed on a cruise ship. I don't think you need to provide any kind of proof that it's a service animal, but they usually have accommodations for the dogs on the promenade deck for the dog to go to the bathroom. So yes, but you can't bring your cat, unfortunately, or your bird. I wish I could bring my cats with me, but I don't think they would like it anyway. All right, thank you. You guys are coming up with some good ones that I didn't touch on yet. This is going to be one very comprehensive video. I'm going to post this on my YouTube. So, because, I don't know, longer content on YouTube. So, I'll probably take a snippet from this in the beginning. If you are new here and you're not following me, please follow. And if you are a follower, please also follow me on YouTube. My YouTube is the same name, Dara the Cruising Cat Lady. Just search for me on YouTube. I should come up, but there is a link in my bio to go to my YouTube channel. I have some videos up there already from Utopia. You're trying, Sin? Hit the link. The link should work. But you should be able to find me. I don't know, just do a random search. You should be able to find Dara the Cruising Cat Lady on YouTube. I'm going to search for myself right now. But yes, I'm going to have longer videos on the YouTube. I'm going to search myself right now. Yes, I come right up. Dara the Cruising Cat Lady. I need more subscribers on YouTube. It's free over there. Just hit that subscribe button. The comedy video is really funny, yes. Thank you, Lisa. John Bing. No smoking. Oh, no smoking. Oh, damn it. No smoking on the balcony nowhere. No how, nowhere. Cruise lines don't like fires. That's happened. People, there you go, just Google it. People have been caught smoking on their balcony, caused a fire on one ship. It melted part of the balcony area. And don't fish. People, I don't know why, they want to fish off a cruise ship. What do you think you're going to catch off of something that big? You can bring a fishing pole with you, but you got to do it in port. You can't do it while the ship is moving. I mean, you can't even do it if the ship is docked in the port. I'm saying you got to go to a fishing place. But someone got banned from Carnival for doing that. John Bing, it's the rules. I don't make the rules. It's the cruise lines that make the rules. If you want to be a good guy and follow the rules. They can, you know, it's a good question, Karina. When I first started cruising, yes, I would have a $100 hold on my credit card. You link your credit card to your account. You can do that right in the app, or you can do it with guest services before you get on board or whatever, or when you get on board. And they would put a $100 hold on there. They haven't done it on mine for the past few cruises. I don't know why. Maybe, I don't know if there's a reason why I haven't seen it on the past couple of cruises where that hold is there. Tell me, anyone else who's been on a cruise recently, have you seen the holds placed on your credit card? $250 on MSC. MSC is ridiculous. I don't know why you like them, Tristan. I'm sorry. MSC, I can't find anything good about them. Did I miss a question? If I missed a question, please retype it. They did a $99 hold on yours, Lisa? I haven't gotten that in a while. Maybe they know my credit card's good. I don't know. It's usually I'll get like a notification because I have my credit cards linked, you know, like your notifications, and I'll be like, oh, $100 was just charged. And I haven't seen that in a while. Maybe my notifications are messed up. Well, I hope I've answered all the major questions. Once again, I'm going to put this video on my YouTube for everyone to look, and then I'm going to take a snippet from this and post it here on TikTok. Is it better to just link a prepaid credit card instead of an actual... You can try a prepaid credit card. I'm not sure how that works. If the prepaid credit card, I guess if you have enough cash on it, they will at least do your down. I don't know. I can't tell you. I've never done it that way. I don't use a bank card. I use a credit card. I don't use a debit card. Well, everyone, I'm going to wrap it up. Thank you for everyone who hung out. If I forgot something, let me know. I'll do another video. We can go live again and do something like this for more advanced questions. And hopefully I've touched on everything for the new first-timer. Cheyenne, the video replay will be on YouTube. Go to my YouTube, Dara the Cruising Cat Lady. Cruise Ship College, yes. Except it's free. Very free college. Well, except for the gifts. Thank you all for the gifts. I appreciate it very much. Good night, everyone. I'll see you maybe, I don't know, tomorrow, next day. Wait, tomorrow's Friday. Is tomorrow Friday? Maybe we'll come back tomorrow. Where am I going? What do you mean? I'm going to sleep soon. Good night, my friends, my new friends, my old friends. We'll see you mañana, maybe. Lisa will come live tomorrow. Adios. Good night, everyone. Ciao, ciao.